Welcome back everyone to episode 22 of Paleo Pines. Um, so, off camera, I've looked after all our dinos, and if I just sprint here, you see at the top of the screen we're 6 out of 50 stamina, just there. That's just really from running around here looking after all the dinos. Um, a little bit of farming, sure, but what I think we're going to try do this episode is get back into our quests, and then also look at some cooking. So I had a quick peek at the wiki, and the more that I think about it, the more I want this to be our farming area. You know, I really like this kind of corner up here, but the trees are in the way. So, kind of like Animal Crossing, in order to move trees, you have to have an energy boost, and um, we can get them here. So look, boosts from eating food. You know, extra muscle, for example. Dig up fully grown trees. So classic stew, we might not have everything we need to do that right now, but I think it's a habit to get into. So we're gonna go to town, just to show you, just so you believe me, and we're gonna do this one, 7 crunchy poppins to own, just to try get back on our quest. We were doing well, I think, for a while, with our quests, but we've kind of let it slip since trying to expand our farm and our ranch. So today, I think that's the agenda for today. Anyway, get this quest done because it seems very easy. We'll check if we have tomatoes. I don't think we do, but we'll check. We definitely don't have strawberries. We could probably buy the flour, and then we definitely can meet Agami and Dapplewood. So a couple of quests there to do, and also maybe get some classic stew on the go here if we can. So we need potatoes, spring onions and carrots, and obviously wood and stone for that. So let's see what we've got. We're probably going to need to sell some stuff since we only have 2 crunchy poppins and 102 shells. So let's see what we've got here. 15 carrots, so that's straight away, that's not enough. Oh, 3 strawberries. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, actually, I remember now why these are here. We're not going to plant them until next season. What else have we got? We've got some garlic, beetroot. Oh, my inventory's full. Right, let's get rid of that. We need the timber, actually. And we need the stone. So let's get rid of the stone. Bring some stone in here. And I think that's all we can do for now. So it might be 2 journeys. What are you? Herb. Yeah. But look, yeah, look, we'll start at the start, right? We'll take one thing at a time. We need to grab Lucky. And we'll head on into town. Okay, here we are. So, is there anything interesting? I do want to get into decorations a little bit more. It's obviously not the highest priority, but it would be something nice to get into eventually. I think, for the sake of money, I think we're just going to have to sell a lot of our crops here. And that's what they're for, you know? So, let's get 5 of those. Oh, they're 1 star, you're joking me. I didn't cop that. Right, let's hope we can use mixed stars with our cooking. We have tons of spring onions. Let's just get rid of these for now. Let me just check what we actually need again. Sorry, I should have made a note of it. But let's have a quick look here. See, recipe. 15, so 20 carrots, we have that. 10 potatoes, that's easy, and then 15 spring onions. So we can sell a lot of these trade. We can sell basically all of these for a little bit more money, and we need 15 of these. So we need the money. We need the money. So let's make sure we have 15. Bang. And then I think we will sell these potatoes as well, just to get as much money as possible. And then we still have enough for our stew. So, let's have a look, see. We need 10 of these, which is extortion. 10, let's just double check, alright? Just before we do. It's definitely 10 tomatoes for Avery. Yeah, bring 10 tomatoes to Avery. We've got our poppins to buy up here as well for Owen. And then 10 strawberries. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anything else food related? Nope. Nope. The missing pages we could probably do quickly if I googled it. Yeah, poppins, tomatoes, and we'll see how much money we've left after to get flour. There's no point buying flour if we can't do the strawberry piece. So 10 tomatoes. Extortion, man. And then the poppins are separate, that's right. Thank God she's here. I had a feeling she wasn't gonna be. I think in the previous episode I had to come back 3 different days just to find her. Oh, it's 100. Of course it is. What's this? Rock in a hard place, really. There's not a whole lot we can sell to make this happen. We can get 5 crunchy poppins, and I think that's enough because we need 7. So Owen better pull through for us here now, to be honest. Not wasting all this money on him. What's new? Cool. Right, I'm gonna go find Avery, I'm gonna find Owen, and I'll meet you back in a few minutes. Okay. Classic stew, yep. So... is this temperature, I'm guessing? So... surely you threw in the carrots, watch there. Carrots 15.5. And then hopefully I got that right. It's 1 star, but I'm assuming that's because of the ingredients and whatnot. We found an apple. Look at that. I don't even know when we picked that up. Probably in the grass just running through here, actually. 10 tomatoes. Avery. We met Avery at the shenanigan, and apparently Avery lives down here. Or I'm assuming what's up here in this area of the map. We can't get to Avery yet, so we've just wasted 400 shells on nothing. And... oh, look at this area. That's something we could look at. And there's some more stuff here to be picked up, which is always good. It's very much like the Minecraft series at the moment. We can't afford to turn our noses up at free stuff at the moment. You know, in Minecraft, we're still picking up coal. We're not in a position yet to pass up any kind of resources. And this man is back, thank goodness. I passed his house and he wasn't here. I was gonna go nuts. So let's talk to Owen, see what he has to say, give him his poppins, and get one of these quests checked off.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, so the prize for getting 7 poppins is 2 poppins apparently. No cash. So I'm gonna bash this man's knees in the next time I see him. Try to make a living here, you know. Right. So yeah, I think at the moment Avery's off limits. We have to get to this area, and I think very much like the Dapplewood Forest, it's like a quest line kind of thing. This archway, if you like, is a gating. It's a gating. It's a gating thing for us getting into here. So I don't know which character do we need to talk to. We still haven't met everyone, right? So I'm not sure if we can actually do that quest yet, to be honest. So at least we've got one thing done, right? We've managed to tick one of Owen's boxes. So I think what we should try to do is meet Agami in the Dapplewood Forest now. So she's trading in Pebble Plaza at the moment, right? Oh, look at that, relationship is cool. How are we only acquaintances, Owen? I've basically fed and sheltered you for the past 3 months. Here's Avery. Lives in blank, yeah, so we don't even know where he lives. And Amber, you know, I'd expect Amber to be a neighbour or whatever, but we've done quite a lot for Owen, to be fair, so Look, it's something we probably have to start working on, is birthdays and stuff like that. I was looking at maybe getting some paths made for the farm, just because I'm sick of digging up the rubble. I forget what it's called. So I want to put some paths in, and I'm not sure how to do that yet. I'm assuming it's through Marlow in the Pebble Plaza, but because we're not acquainted enough, I guess, or we're not good enough friends, certain decorations are off limits to us. So that's definitely like a relationship we're gonna have to work on. Same with Agami, you know, I'm assuming as we become closer with Agami, the more kind of crops that will become available to us, or maybe better fertilizer or something like that, I'm not sure. So it's definitely something we've been neglecting and something we should work on in future. It's just we really haven't had the time, to be honest. Look, while we're here, let's go have a look at this gate, or this archway or whatever, just to even find out where it is. I wouldn't mind getting a trike at some point as well, but I think we've enough dinos at the moment. So I'm assuming it's through here, right? Yeah, look, you can see the pillar just over in the top right hand corner. There's a pillar there, kind of sandstone pillar. So to get through there, we're gonna need a Kentrosaurus, or let's see what they're called again. A slasher, yeah. So we're gonna need Kent to come down here once he's our helper and sort this out. So there's a lot of work in store for Kent. Let's have a quick peek behind here just to make sure we haven't missed anything cool. Yeah. These guys are really cute. I would like to get one, but you know, at the moment, as I said, with the trikes, we have enough dinos. You know, we're kind of at our limit at the moment in terms of what we can do and afford to feed them, etc., etc. So, where are we? We're nearly home. I suppose we should probably go home. Maybe sleep, actually, just because Freya is so low on stamina. And then I think what our next step is to meet Agami in Dapplewood. So I'm going to leave it here, just very briefly. Sleep the night, tend to the dinos in the morning, and I'll speak to you guys in Dapplewood Forest. Now, look at this. 5 tomatoes. Patience is a virtue, huh? If I'd waited one more day, we would have had more than enough tomatoes for Avery. And even with my, 23 tomatoes, Avery is nowhere to be found. So, yeah, that's where we are. Lucky's unhappy. I don't know if she's still, right? But let's just have a quick look just so you guys are aware. Lucky's pen. Yeah, so she was unhappy this morning, right? But all of this was... She had a clean pen, she'd food. You know, well, obviously she had enough space because it was a tick. 35 meters squared, but she was unhappy. So I fed her a mushroom, which is her favorite food. And that made her a happy helper again. So I'm not sure what's going on with Lucky. Is she... Like, she's a loner by species, you know? So, yeah, something for us to keep an eye on, I suppose, just in case. But what I will do, before we head over to Dapplewood, is sell these tomatoes to try and make back some of our shells. While we're waiting for Agami, I think she only spawns at her house in the evenings. I've just been going around Dapplewood, kind of meeting some new dinos and getting their friend call sorted. So I said I'd record this, probably an inevitable failure on my behalf. So we'll give it a go. I think it was a medium purple. Yes, it was. Okay, so 2-2. Oh, well, there we go. I'm getting better at it, for sure. The Kentrosaurus was very difficult, even in the mornings when I'm trying to make him a happy helper. You know, I sing his friend call, and it's really, I still really struggle with it. But this one wasn't too bad. So we're just going to suit this guy, let him go. Cool colour. Very pigeon-like, actually. The blue is very cool. But yeah, well, you might actually be able to see it now because we're not researching them. But as we go, we're learning friend calls and stuff, which does, you know, certainly help. So yeah, nothing new actually. Just here, you can see down the hill. We did a friend call with these guys as well, just as I'm waiting for Agami. So yeah, just wanted to tune in, let you guys know what we're up to. Um, hopefully the passage of time will happen quickly enough, and Agami will spawn at the house here or in her farm, and yeah, we'll meet back. I think if we are to tame another dino, it would be this guy, just because we have to bring one to marry, right? Yeah, so it's any it's anyone. I was scared it was going to be a specific one, but no. I think if we can tame this guy somehow in the next few episodes, um, we can sort that out for Mary as well. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna walk around Dapplewood, find some dinos, maybe pick some berries. Okay, something really interesting that I learned by chance, right, is when you're, I guess, making friends with a dino, you can soothe them so much that they fall asleep, and then you can study them with the journal, which is huge, because dino, we now know. Oh, we actually don't, right? Favorite treat we don't know yet, so we don't know what kind of popping they need. But like in terms of the friend call, like this makes it so much easier for me. Um, and all this kind of detail as well. So like if we did want to tame a Megalosaurus, we know they're a loner, so we can build a pen accordingly ahead of time. So we won't have a repeat of what happened with Sherman and Clark Kent, because we didn't know what to expect from them, how much space they needed, all this. It was a lot of guesswork. But now we can go to a given dinosaur species, soothe them to sleep, and then study them ahead of time. And I guess it is a little bit of trial and error with the poppins. I think the approach we should take is with feeding. So when we go to tame our next dino, have different types of food, crunchy, spicy, whatever, right? And then feed them that and see what they react to. And from there, we will know what crunchy, or sorry, what poppin to use. So we're not wasting resources. So I'll just demonstrate this now, so you guys understand what I'm saying. And you see there how much faster it is for me to be able to just read off the friend call rather than, you know, like really paying attention and getting it wrong, as I do sometimes. So hopefully it'll work. We'll see here. We'll soothe our friend here to sleep, and it means we can study him, which is huge for me. Bang. So without taming, we can discover dinosaurs now, which is I really like this as a feature. So let's see, Dapplewood, right? No, guess not. Okay, here we are. Coleophysis, I'm going to pronounce it like that. I may be wrong. It is a carnivore. It's a discoverer. All these kind of things. Tenderer is actually very interesting. We must work out what that is. Has it something to do with food? And they're a herd, right? Um, stuff like this. Favorite treat, minimum era. We can figure that out as we go for sure. But this is huge. This is a big discovery for me. And I think while we're waiting for Gami, that's what I'm gonna go do. So yeah, really excited now. It kind of gives me, on the days where we're waiting for crops to grow, or we're waiting for a quest or a happy helper to happen, we can now go off into the wild and just study dinosaurs. Which is maybe showing my kind of inner nerd, like study for the sake of study. I love that. Um, it's I've discovered by chance a new way of collecting dinosaurs, if you like, rather than having to tame everyone and spending a rake of money. I can just complete my journal, which I really really like. So a couple of suits here. This is a waste of time actually, apologies, because we already have studied these guys, so there's no need for this. But there are the species up here in the corner we can study. So and it's also just good practice for my friend because when I don't play for a couple of weeks, I get very, very rusty. Perfect. I really do like the color of this one. This is very cool. Um, they're very cute as well. I'm actually quite eager to see what these guys can do for us. Are they like observers or sorters or something like that? I don't know. No, we don't want our journal like that. We want our journal like this. An oviraptor. Very good. So let's have a quick look at our journal. Dinosaurs, Dapplewood, I'm assuming. Oviraptor. So they're tender as well, which I must figure out what it is. And they're omnivores, which is actually very helpful to know. And they're discoverers too. So rather than going with the Coleophysis here, one carnivore a day, we could maybe opt for a smaller dinosaur that I'm assuming needs less space. We can feed them herbivore food and, you know, work it that way. It's also a pack, so less dinosaurs compared to the herd. You know, so there are strategic choices here of what dinosaurs do we actually want. You know, rather than just going after a discoverer, we can actually be strategic now in our selection. And off camera, just so you guys know, I think I showed this anyway because of the friend call, we went after the Megalosaurus as well. So yeah, exciting times, very exciting times for me. I now have like a little side quest to do myself. Even if I'm just hopping on to do a bit of farming off camera, I can reward myself with a bit of exploration, because that's a huge part of gaming. The kind of sense of awe and wonder where you discover something new and cool. I'll just grab this quickly as well. You know, like recently we were playing, my friends and I were playing Peak, the new climbing game. It's kind of taken the world by storm, and like some of the most fun in Peak is the mushrooms, the food. You know, you pick up a mushroom, it's like, is this going to poison me? You know, am I going to suffer for eating this? You know, for those that don't know, I suppose I'll start at the start. Peak is a climbing game. You start at the bottom of a mountain, you have stamina, you need to eat to keep your stamina up. And there's different foods in this game, and some of them are poisonous, obviously. So it's really kind of interesting to see that play out, you know? That kind of discovery and wonder, and, you know, it actually has consequence as well. This is going to be a nightmare, so bear with me. I think it was a big yellow. Yes. I'm getting good, guys. I'm getting good. Let's soothe this guy. I think he's a Stegosaurus. Didn't take much anyway to put him to sleep. Get our journal back out here. And yes, it is a Stegosaurus. Massive dinosaur. And I also think uncommon. Okay, so it actually tells you about the skins as well. That's very interesting. I'd imagine this guy is uncommon as well. So let's have a quick look here. Stegosaurus. Pack animal is the... Yeah, also pack. Yeah, okay. And what's Kent? Is he a herd? He is a herd. Okay. So, you know, again, if we needed a slasher, who would you pick? You know, would you go Kentrosaurus and a herd? You know, so ideally you have a herd 75 meters squared, or to be fair, these might be 50 meters squared. So you could get 2 Stegosaurus and use 100 meters. You know, so it's all this kind of balancing act. 5 a day, 2 a day. Yeah, so in my opinion, I think the Kentrosaurus is the right choice here. If you need a slasher. They're both the same skills, so although I like Stegosaurus, I think they're cool. They're probably more famous, like, to the general public than Kentrosaurus. Strategically, I think the Kentrosaurus is the better option. So I'm glad we went with that choice with Clark Kent. Yeah, and what I was saying is, I believe that Stegosaurus, they have the smallest brain to mass ratio in the animal kingdom or in the living world. Um, they look cool. Are they I'm not even gonna guess because I'll get it wrong. Um, it's kind of in Jurassic World Evolution. It's one of the first dinosaurs that you can get. Is that species? I believe. I just can't remember what they're called. Is it Sinoceratops? I think maybe. I'll have to Google it. But yeah, I think Stegosaurus have, as I said, they've one of the smallest brains in relation to their size. Um, so essentially super dumb. And I was thinking about taming one of the Stegosaurus and calling it Woody. Woody was one of Orla's childhood dogs, and as lovely as Woody was, he was the nicest dog, such a pal. He was absolutely thick as mince, So that's what I was planning. Was I would tame a Stegosaurus and call it Woody, um, to honor Woody's nature. As I said, he was the best dog ever. Like, he was so friendly, but he was just, yeah, he wasn't the brightest. We'll put it that way. So look, I'm gonna wander around again for another little while. Maybe collect stuff like this, truffles and all this kind of jazz. See, is there any cool dinosaurs around? And hopefully, by the end of the episode, we'll actually get to chat to Ogami. So, yeah, I'll leave it here for now.
Oh ho!
Okay, finally, a development. So, I'm guessing we need to come back in a few days. No, doesn't say anything yet. No new quests. I'm not sure if you've seen, I did record it, but whether it made the final cut or not is a different story. We met Mary in the wild. She was studying some dinosaurs and asked if we had any poppins. Unfortunately, we didn't, so it looks like kind of a once-off kind of quest. Because it's not in this log here, for example. So, look, it is what it is. Maybe it was a chance to increase our friends with Mary. But if we missed it, we missed it. That's fine. So, that's Agami sorted. Finally, it's nighttime. I don't want to stay in Daftwood too much longer. I think maybe the next thing is to tame this guy and bring it back to Mary. There's tons of mushrooms here, which is great for Lucky, since her favorite food is mushrooms. But yeah, I think we'll head home. No, no, I thought it was something interesting. I think we will head home and scratch all this, man. Poor old Benji. Benji should be in bed. Why are you out here, bud? Go to bed, buddy. I probably had him out to water these crops here and I didn't send him home correctly. That or he's glitching, because he's not going home when he should. We'll put him to bed very quickly. Okay. So, I think we got everything done Last thing, I think, how are we on stamina? We're probably low. Yeah, we're a little bit low on stamina, right? So to finish up the episode, I think we're going to have our stew and move that tree. And that'll lead us into the next episode of building our new farm. So let's very quickly sleep, regain some of our stamina. We'll sort out our inventory as well, maybe while we're here. Just clean up a little bit. Don't need any of this. Okay, let's figure this out together. How are we all looking? Before I do that, everyone should be happy. They can wait anyway. Yeah, so Lucky is an unhappy helper again, because her pen isn't clean. Okay, fair enough. There actually is a reason. Everyone's happy here. Clean pen? Yeah, clean pen, so we need to clean up. And then Benji's pen, same thing. Okay, so easy stuff to do. I'll do that off camera. Just to get this done. So I think we only need 2 stews to move this tree and this tree. I think we might get away. I think we'll get away with this tree for now. I think we'll suffer through it until we get another harvest. Of course I put the stew away. So yeah, we'll move this tree first. We can bring the farm out then as far as here. We'll make another stew. And we'll get this one sorted then, and that'll be our farming area. And then we might obviously move the pond. We'll tuck the pond in somewhere as well, so it's nice and tidy. So, we should have a stamina boost. I think... No? Really? You're really gonna do this? It was the classic stew, right? Extra muscle, dig up fully grown trees. She's not having it. Oh. Well, as in the words of Jeremy Clarkson, I suppose, to end on a terrible disappointment, I'll catch you guys in the next episode, presumably with another stew ready to take out this tree. That's very disappointing, and I would try Jimmy in, you know, I'd try cram it into the end of this episode, but I don't think we have enough crops to do so. Where are we? Where are we? Potatoes. Yeah, it's the potatoes that's killing us. And the carrots as well, actually. No. Yeah, no carrots. No carrots, no potatoes. After selling basically all our crops all year, as when we need them, they're not here, of course. So, yeah, look, we're just going to have to leave it here for now, guys. An objective for next episode, I guess. Get some classic stew, get our stamina boost, and get our farm set up for the long term. So, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And yeah, thanks.